Well, good morning, my fellow brothers, my men, walking in this matrix world on a spiritual journey to ascend to light and love. Today is Thursday, September 28th, 2023, and we're going to talk about spirit. And today, at 353 days of semen retention, we are almost to 1 year, and I'm making a series of videos on observations after a year or so, close to a year, of semen retention. And one of the topic this morning is your spirit or your soul or your consciousness, your being, your awareness. So, as a Christian, and if you've watched my past videos, I've been raised as a Christian. Christians believe in the soul. The soul is in your body, your physical body. But I'm here to tell you that though I was aware of that and believed in it, I just now have noticed it more and focused on it more. What do I mean by that? It's hard to explain, guys, but the whole idea of meditation is to clear your mind and focus on you, your spirit, your soul, your consciousness, your awareness, your being. And there's all sorts of meditations, techniques. You can go on YouTube and find one you like. But it really doesn't require formal technique. All it requires is you to clear your mind of thoughts, emotions, and focus on your spirit. Now, this picture here says, God is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So God is a spirit, and so are you. It says it right here in John chapter 4, verse 24, for God is spirit, and so those who worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. So the real you, guys, is a spirit, or some other probably non-religious philosophers or spiritualists will call it an awareness, being self-aware or aware of your consciousness. It's the same thing, guys. It's your spirit. It's your being. And lately I've been focusing on clearing my thoughts. Now, by the way, clearing your thoughts is hard to do because, you're thinking about the matrix. You're here in the matrix. It's a distraction. You have sensory input of the physical matrix, the world, the sounds, the things going on around you, wars going on in the world, politics, things on television if you're engaging in that. And so you're distracted and you're thinking about paying the bills, or maybe you have a health problem, or you're thinking about your kids, their life, or your wife, or your girlfriend. You're thinking about them. So you always have a stream of thoughts running through your head all day long. And most of those thoughts are repetitive and not really beneficial. Sometimes they're negative, and they distract you from the real you, which is just a conscious awareness. And so when you clear the thoughts and you're meditating and you're focusing on your spirit is what I like to call it, my spirit or my consciousness. If you prefer that word, they're just words that point to you. Right now, today, you're aware. You exist in the matrix. You are alive. Now, Psalm 139, guys, talks about how God created your spirit. So let's go to that. I'm in the Blue Letter Bible app, by the way, if you're wondering. Psalms 139, verse 13 to 16, guys. It says, "You made all the delicate inner parts of my body and knit me together in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. You watched me as I was being formed in utter seclusion, and I was woven together in the dark of the womb. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. How precious are your thoughts about me, O God. They cannot be numbered. I can't even count them. They outnumbered the grains of sand, and when I wake, you are still with me." So, guys, when you die, your spirit leaves the matrix, it leaves the physical body. The flesh is another term for the physical body. And if you're a Christian and you believe in Jesus, then you will be reunited in spirit with him. He'll raise your spirit. And what is heaven? It's just the presence, being in the presence of Jesus. And that presence is eternal happiness and joy, guys, that we cannot understand in our earthly ways of knowledge. But guys, so the point of the video is the semen retention has led me to become more aware, more self-aware of my spirit or my conscious being. And the past is the past. It's already happened. The future hasn't happened yet. Your most important day is today, because that's where your being and your conscious and your awareness is. It's today. It's not yesterday and it's not tomorrow. The reality is right now. That is your reality. And when you clear your mind, and you don't even need to be in a formal meditation environment. I can be in my car at a stoplight and you can clear your mind of thoughts and you're focusing on your immediate environment, whether it's nature or the city or the car or whatever the sounds that you hear. And that is your current awareness, your current being, your consciousness. And there is a sense of freedom and relief when you clear your mind of thoughts, guys. It's hard to do, because sometimes when you achieve that and you're in a state of awareness with no thoughts of the world disturbing you, and you're just focused on your being, and all of a sudden the thoughts will rush back into your head. Now, prayer is a form of meditation. Why? When you're praying, you're focused on worshiping God or speaking to him or telling him your problems or requesting or petitioning him for your needs or praying for others. And so your mind is cleared of everything else except for what you're focused on at the moment, what your being is speaking to the Lord. But even that is hard to do, because if you try to pray for more than a few minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you'll find yourself, not yourself, but your mind being filled with worldly thoughts again, worries or other thoughts just randomly coming into your mind. So you have to practice suppressing that and staying in a state of current existing consciousness. Or if you're praying to the Lord, and praying really, it's an old term, it's just conversing, talking. I like to use that better. When you're talking to God the Spirit, then you're meditating. And if you feel a thought of the world come into your mind to interrupt that conversation with the Lord, clear it and continue to focus. But it's hard to explain, guys, but let's there's one passage in Luke 10 that kind of explains it, I think, pretty well. So let's go there and we can end with that. Luke 10 verses, I think it's verse 38. Here it is, guys. So Jesus visits Martha and Mary. As Jesus and the disciples continued on their way to Jerusalem, they came to a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Her sister Mary sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he taught, but Martha was so distracted by the big dinner she was preparing, she came to Jesus and said, "Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me." Have you ever been in a similar situation, guys? Maybe you're at work and you're doing all the work and your coworker is hardly doing anything, but that's kind of a different environment. But so verse 41, but the Lord said to her, "My dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all these details. There is only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her." So Martha's worried about the little things, the things of the world, preparing the food, cleaning, serving, which, it's legitimate worry. But Mary has discovered it. She's listening to Jesus, what he's teaching. So it's an analogy of your soul, your spirit. Try it today. Try listening and becoming still or silent in your mind. Silence your mind of the world and just simply think of your consciousness. If you don't like the word spirit, think of your awareness. You are aware today. If you're listening to this, you are an aware, conscious being. That's it, guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.